Welcome to English Presenter, where you master English for business success. In this lesson, you'll learn more than 150 phrases and expressions for giving effective business presentations in English. We'll look at how to start your presentation, organize your ideas, describe charts and visuals, emphasize key points, handle questions, and close confidently. To make it even more practical, I'll show you two styles for each part: a casual version for internal meetings and a formal version for clients or investors. Take notes, practice out loud, and use the version that fits your audience best. Part 1. Start your presentation. When you start your presentation, your first lines set the tone. A strong opening helps you connect with your audience and build confidence. Let's look at the casual version first. Hey everyone! Great to see you all today. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time to join. I'm super excited to share our new campaign results. Thanks for joining. I'm so excited to share the results from our latest property campaign for the Sun Riverside project. So today, we'll take a quick look at how our latest condo launch performed and what we can improve next. Let's jump right in. Hey, everyone. Great to see you. Today, I'll walk you through the results from our Q3 campaign for Sun Riverside and share what worked best in generating qualified leads. Now, let's try the formal version. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to present the performance overview of our latest residential project. The purpose of my presentation is to provide insights into our marketing outcomes and future strategies. Allow me to begin by outlining the key objectives for today's session. Good morning. It's a pleasure to present our marketing performance report for the Emerald Bay Residences project. Today, I'll share our campaign results, key drivers of success, and next steps for Q4. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Jade Lee, Marketing Manager at Brightstone Realty. The purpose of today's presentation is to review the campaign performance for our Emerald Bay Residences project and discuss upcoming strategies for Q4. You can also use neutral openers such as, "It's a pleasure to present our recent marketing outcomes. Allow me to begin by outlining the key objectives for today's session." Or simply, "Let's get started." Pause here and think about how you would open your next presentation. Try saying your first 3 sentences out loud. Part 2. Organize your ideas. Once you've started, you need to guide your audience through your presentation smoothly. That's where signposting language comes in, simple phrases that show what's next, what's changing, or what's being summarized. Here's the friendly version first. Casual style. Alright, let's start with a quick overview. Next up, we'll look at lead sources and ad performance. Okay, now moving on to our social media campaigns. Before we wrap this part up, let me quickly show you one key insight. Alright, so first we'll check out the campaign results, then we'll move to customer insights, and finally, I'll share our plans for the next launch. Now the professional version. Formal style. Let's begin with a brief overview of our marketing objectives. Now, moving on to our advertising performance across key channels. As mentioned earlier, digital engagement was a crucial success factor. To conclude this section, I'd like to highlight the main takeaways. Now, moving on to the performance breakdown, we'll analyze how Facebook ads, Google search, and offline events contributed to overall conversion rates. Part 3. Describe charts and visuals. In presentation, visuals matter. you'll often show charts, graphs, or campaign dashboards. Let's learn how to describe them in both tones. Casual style. Here's a quick look at the chart. You can see our reach really jumped in September. This graph shows how our lead costs dropped after optimizing our Facebook campaign. Notice how engagement spiked when we added more video content. Basically, we got the most traction from the Dream City landing page. As you can see here, our ad engagement peaked right after we launched the video tour. It clearly grabbed attention compared to static images. In casual settings, use plain, direct language. You can see this shows, basically. Formal style. If we look at this chart, we can observe a consistent increase in qualified leads throughout the third quarter. This bar graph illustrates the performance of each marketing channel. The data indicates a strong correlation between ad spend and conversion rate. As illustrated in the following slide, the ROI from social media campaigns exceeded initial projections. As shown in this graph, the lead-to-sale conversion rate rose by 18% following our targeted remarketing strategy, particularly for the Skyline Tower project. Part 4. Emphasize key points. During your presentation, some ideas deserve extra attention. You can emphasize or clarify using the right expressions. Casual style. The main thing I want you to take away here is, just to make it clear, this doesn't mean the campaign failed. It just means we need better targeting. To put it simply, we got more clicks but fewer qualified leads. Let me highlight one more key result. The main thing here is that while our reach was great, our lead quality dropped a bit, so we'll tweak our ad copy to attract the right buyers next time. The main thing I want you to take away here is that our campaign worked, but we can still improve lead quality. Formal style. I'd like to emphasize that our success was driven primarily by improved audience segmentation. It's important to note that the conversion uplift reflects both digital and offline synergies. To clarify, this figure represents total booked units, not just inquiries. Let me draw your attention to an important insight. The cost per qualified lead decreased by 12% quarter-over-quarter. I'd like to emphasize that the improvement in conversion rate wasn't due to higher budget allocation, but rather smarter targeting and optimized messaging. I'd like to highlight that the improvement in sales conversion wasn't due to increased budget, but rather to optimized message targeting and stronger creative assets. I'd like to highlight that our strong campaign results were driven not by higher spending, but by smarter audience segmentation and consistent branding. It's important to emphasize that the surge in qualified leads was driven not by luck, but by data-informed decisions and precise targeting. I want to point out that growth this quarter was driven not by external market factors, but by our team's strategic content optimization. I'd like to stress that the uptick in engagement was driven not by volume of ads, but by improved creative quality and stronger message alignment. You can rotate between these to avoid repetition. I'd like to highlight that. It's important to emphasize that. I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that. Let me stress that. I want to underline that. I'd like to point out that. It's worth noting that. We should keep in mind that. Pause and practice emphasizing one key idea from your own presentation using the phrase, "I'd like to emphasize that," or "It's important to emphasize that." Part 5. Handle questions. A confident presenter handles questions gracefully. Here's how to sound natural in both tones. Casual style. Good question. Yeah, that's something we noticed too. Let me check the data real quick. Yeah, so around 60% came from Facebook. I'm not totally sure about that, but I can double check after this. Interesting point. We'll definitely test that idea in our next campaign. Oh, that's a good question. The reason engagement dipped mid-campaign was actually due to limited ad budget during the holiday week. Formal style. That's an excellent question. Thank you for bringing that up. Based on the current data, we can confirm that trend. I'll need to verify that specific figure and get back to you after the meeting. That's an interesting observation. However, our research suggests a slightly different pattern. That's a very good question. While the website traffic did increase, the majority of conversions still came from targeted social media remarketing. Notice how both styles remain polite and confident, but the wording shifts depending on audience. Part 6. Close the presentation. Your conclusion is the last impression your audience remembers. Make it clear, confident, and positive. Casual style. Alright, that's it from me. Thanks so much for listening. To wrap up, our campaign did great overall, but there's still room to improve lead quality. If you guys have any feedback or ideas, feel free to share. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks again, everyone. Let's make the next launch even better. So, that's a quick wrap-up of our Sun Avenue campaign. Thanks for your hard work, and I'm super excited about what we can do next quarter. Formal style. To conclude, our integrated marketing efforts delivered strong results, exceeding our sales targets by 12%. Before closing, let me summarize the key takeaways from today's presentation. I'd like to thank everyone for your attention and collaboration. I'll now be happy to address any final questions. To conclude, the Harborview Villas campaign successfully achieved its objectives, driving both awareness and qualified inquiries. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to our continued success in the upcoming quarter. To conclude, our integrated marketing efforts delivered strong results, exceeding our sales targets by 12%. Before closing, let me summarize the key takeaways from today's presentation. First, consistent branding across channels improved engagement. Second, personalized ad targeting reduced cost per lead. And third, cross-team collaboration was critical to our success. I'd like to thank everyone for your attention and support. I'll now be happy to take any final questions. Take a moment to plan your own closing. Try saying it in both tones, friendly and formal, to see which fits your next audience. To make your presentation sound smooth, use connectors and linking phrases. Casual connectors include, "By the way, that reminds me." Just a quick note here. Anyway, moving on. Formal connectors include, "Furthermore." In addition. On the other hand. To put it in perspective. To summarize. In total, you now have more than 150 practical phrases to use in real-world business presentations. Remember, confidence doesn't come from memorizing every word. It comes from practice. Choose 5 phrases from today's lesson and try using them in your next meeting or campaign report. If you found this lesson helpful, leave a comment below with your favorite phrase. Subscribe to English Presenter for more lessons that help you master business English and communicate like a pro. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.